Hello students, we'll continue with studying the time curve. Study or analysis of motion versus time curves. ठीक है, primarily rectilinear motion till now. Okay, and so far we are analyzing it against time. Okay, speed versus time, distance travel versus time, velocity versus time, distance versus time, then acceleration versus time, position versus time. All of them have been covered in the previous session with great details. Okay, every minute point, every situation I have covered. Acceleration positive होगा तो देख ग्राफ कैसे देखने लगेगा, वेलोसिटी पॉजिटिव होगा, इनिशियल वेलोसिटी तो कैसे होगा, इफ इनिशियल पोजीशन पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन में है फ्रॉम ऑब्जेक्ट टू द ओरिजिन, रादर फ्रॉम ओरिजिन टू द ऑब्जेक्ट, इफ इट इज इन पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन देन ग्राफ कैसा होगा, पोजीशन ग्राफ कैसा होगा, एक्सीलरेशन, everything has been covered. So today we will be doing some examples so that how we can apply those concept and knowledge into specific scenario. ठीक है, एक सिनेरियो लेते हैं. दिस इज वेलोसिटी v मीटर पर सेकेंड. दिस इज टाइम, सेकेंड कर्व on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and this velocity is starting from 0. It can be anything. Let's start with from 0 time t, then it goes to 2. Okay, from 2 to 6 moves like this, 6 to 10 it goes like this. Okay, now how the acceleration will look like? From velocity time curve acceleration कैसे मिलेगा? Acceleration is the slope between 2 points. So acceleration 0 to 2 is delta v by delta t. Delta v कितना? 2 minus 0 and t is 2 minus 0 is 1. Acceleration is 1. So acceleration curve कुछ ऐसा दिखने में लगेगा. Acceleration मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर टाइम सेकेंड 0 to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, acceleration is 1. So this is the acceleration between 0 to 2. After that 2 to 6 velocity curve is flat parallel to s axis. That means acceleration is 0 because the slope at every point is 0. So 2 to 6 acceleration is 0. 6 to 10 v goes down. That means slope is negative. That means acceleration is negative. Acceleration 2 to 6 is 0. Acceleration 6 to 10 is 0 minus 2 divided by 10 minus 6. Same, delta v by delta t is minus 2 by 4 is minus 0.5. Okay, so acceleration is negative here. If this is 1, then this is the value from 6 to 10. Okay, this is the value 0.5. How the displacement graph will look like or position graph will look like if, let's do it first, the displacement curve. Displacement curve, okay? I'll need this space, or rather erase this and calculate the displacement. The displacement between 0 to 2 will be given by the area enclosed in the V by T graph, right? V by T graph se will get the displacement between two time interval or change in position or change in displacement. Okay, so 0 to 2 displacement, 0 to 2 area covered is half 2 into 2, 2 meter. Okay, displacement 2 to 6, it is 4 into 2, area of the rectangle 8 meter. 6 to 10, 6 to 10 displacement is half 2 into 4, it is 4 meter. So between a 0 to 6 time, what is the total displacement? It will be 2 plus 8, 10. Between 0 to 10, what will be the total displacement? 2 plus 8 plus 4, that is 14. Between 2 to 10, what will be the displacement? 8 plus 4, 12. Okay. So this is displacement, first displacement graph. Okay. In S, displacement starts with 0. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Right. So 0 to 2, 2 meter. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay. After 2 seconds, it is 2 meter. 2 meter. Okay. So displacement is 2 meter. ग्राफ देखने में कैसा लगेगा? वेलोसिटी वर्सेस टाइम ग्राफ, एक्सीलरेशन का ग्राफ in s versus t curve, it will be parabola, right? Acceleration is s equals to ut plus half at square. U is 0 here because velocity started from 0. So half at square, it is parabolic curve and then aligned with the positive direction of s axis, right? So graph will look like this. So this is the curve of acceleration and this is the curve of retardation. Okay, any 2 point, between any 2 point, this is accelerated. This is v is negative at this point, velocity is negative. Here velocity is 0, here velocity is positive. Okay, but the graph is accelerated. Okay, similarly this is graph is retardation. Okay, velocity will be 0 at this point. This is s versus t graph. Okay, s versus t graph, this is velocity is negative up to this point. Velocity will be 0 here and velocity will be positive, s versus t curve mein. So between these 2 points, if it is accelerated, so graph should look like this. Okay, 2 to 6, it is another 8 meter, that means it will be 10. 2 to 6, it will be at 10. And this is a velocity is parallel. That means acceleration is there is no displacement graph will be a straight line graph. Acceleration is 0, displacement will be a linear graph. Okay, because slope here is 0, v is constant. Okay, so there is no acceleration, so that means it will be a straight line. 6 to 10, another 4 meter. 6 to 10, another 4. So we are already here at 10, then it will be 4, but this is decelerated. Between these 2 points, it is deceleration. That means it will look like this. Okay, understood? So this is acceleration, this is no acceleration, this is deceleration or retardation. Okay, let's make this graph little more complex. Continue like this: 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This is 14, it goes to 2, 1, 2, goes like this. Okay, then 14 to 16 parallel, 16 to 18 like this, 18 to 20 like this. Okay, up to 10 was there, then 10 to 14 it is velocity is still going down, so it is deceleration. What is the change? This is 2 by 4, same velocity, change in velocity. Acceleration between 10 to 14 is -2 -0, 14 minus 10, it is 0.5. So 10 to 14, this is 10, 12, 14, that also 0.5. Okay, 0.5, 14, 14 to 16 acceleration is 0, 14 to 16 acceleration is 0. 16 to 18, 16 to 18 में क्या है? Final velocity is 0, initial velocity was -2. So 18 minus 16, it is 1. Okay, this one V curve is moving up. That means it is acceleration once again. So 16 to 18, this is 14, 12, 14, 16, 18. 16 to 18, it is once again acceleration is 1. And then 18 to 20, 18 to 20, final velocity is 2, initial velocity is 0, divided by 20 minus 18, this is once again 1. So 18 to 20 also acceleration is 1. Okay, now let's look at the displacement curve. 6 to 10 हो गया डिस्प्लेसमेंट का. एक्सीलरेशन का ये जगह मेरे को थोड़ा चाहिए. S 14 10 to 14, S 10 to 14. It is a triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 into minus 2. Area will be negative. Okay. So area is negative here. Okay. So the displacement will be negative. That means it is towards the origin. Towards the origin. So 12, 10 to this is 14, 15, 16, 18, 20. So 10 to 14, it goes down by 4 centimeter. So it comes back here 10, 14 से 4 सेंटीमीटर नेगेटिव डायरेक्शन में आ गया and it is a deceleration. It is still deceleration. 10 to 14, it is deceleration. Deceleration का ग्राफ ऐसे होगा. Between these 2 points, graph will be like this. है ना? 14 to 16. Yes, 14 to 16. Area 2 into minus 2. Time to velocity minus 2. Minus 4. Once again it decreases, or the displacement is in negative direction, minus 4. It is coming towards the origin once again. So 16 minus 4. 10 से 4 हो जाएगा, means somewhere this 6. And this is a zero acceleration curve. So it will be a straight line. Okay. 16 to 18. What is the area of this triangle? Half 2 into minus 2, that is minus 2, right? 6 to 18 minus 2, that means 4. And it is, what is this? This is acceleration. It is acceleration, means it will be curved like this. So it will look like this. And 18 to 20 is 18 to 20 is this triangle, half 2 into 2, that is 2. Okay, this is positive 2. That means from here it will be 2 added. It will go back to 6. And this is acceleration curve. Acceleration curve will look like this. Got it? So this is how the displacement versus time curve can be derived from velocity versus time curve, and from velocity versus time curve how acceleration versus time curve will be derived. Now I told that I will tell you that how to find out the position versus time curve. If the question says that the object is at the origin during time t0, okay, let me erase this, or okay, just keep it like that because I will need that. Question is saying object is at origin at t equals to 0, then this will become the same curve like displacement, or it can be the position curve. Okay, this will be the position curve, and displacement curve is the same because displacement is also 0 at the beginning at time t0. Position is also 0 because it says object is at origin at t equals to 0. But if it says object is 4 meter left, first left from the origin, for object is 4 meter left from the origin, from the origin, from the origin at t equals to 0. That means A0 is negative 4. Everything that your calculation has to start from 1, 2, 3, 4 minus 4. Okay. So A0 to 2 displacement is 2. That means minus 4 से तुम्हें 2 करना पड़ेगा. So ये ग्राफ ऐसे हो जाएगा. सब दो दो करके नीचे हो जाएगा. क्योंकि इट इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 2 मीटर बिलो. दिस इज नॉट 2, सॉरी, दिस इज 1, 2, 3, 4. मैंने 4 कर दिया. हाँ, 4 मीटर, सॉरी, 4 मीटर लेफ्ट फ्रॉम द ओरिजिन. 4 मीटर लेफ्ट फ्रॉम द ओरिजिन मीन्स नेगेटिव. सो 4 डाउन एंड देन 4 minus 4 plus 2 should be 2. ओके, ऐसे जाएगा. -4 plus 2 should be -2. So 2 में पॉइंट यहां पे आएगा. ऐसे करके कैलकुलेट करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, तो ग्राफ ऐसे जाएगा. एंड इफ इट सेज इट इज से 4 मीटर राइट फ्रॉम द ओरिजिन, okay, so initial position will be at 4. देन ये सब ऐड होते होते जाएगा. 4, 4 plus 2, next will be 6. Okay, this should be like this. Okay, so position versus time graph में इनिशियल पोजीशन तुम्हें पता होना चाहिए. दैट शुड बी गिवन. ओके, now we'll study few graphs, few more graphs we'll study so that your idea is clear. Okay, like यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन. यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन v वर्सेस t ग्राफ में कैसा होगा? इफ इट इज पॉजिटिव, v वर्सेस t ग्राफ में it will be going up. A straight line का it will be going up. ठीक है, बहुत कुछ लिख लिया था यहाँ पे, पूरा बोर्ड भर गया. मेरे को मालूम था कि 3 कार पूरा का पूरा कैलकुलेशन दिखाने में ये बोर्ड पूरा कम पड़ जाएगा, लेकिन ये बोर्ड चाहिए था मेरे को. ये तीनों ग्राफ को एक साथ जैसे एक्सप्लेन किया मैंने, एंड उसके साथ पोजीशन ग्राफ भी इंपोज कर, सुपर इंपोज कर दिया, तो इसके लिए बोर्ड चाहिए था मेरे को. अच्छा, यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन. यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन v वर्सेस t कर्व कैसा होगा? अभी ये सिंपल हो जाना चाहिए. if initial velocity is positive, then it is like this. If initial velocity is 0, then like this. If initial velocity is negative, then it will look like this. So here v0 is positive, here v0 is 0, v0 is negative. यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन में एक्सीलरेशन ग्राफ कैसा होगा? लाइक दिस. ओके, यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन पॉजिटिव. एक्सीलरेशन इज पॉजिटिव. इफ एक्सीलरेशन इज नेगेटिव, v वर्सेस t ग्राफ में स्लोप नेगेटिव हो जाएगा. सिमिलरली लाइक दिस. ओके, so v versus t graph, this is v0 is positive, V0 is 0, V0 is negative. And acceleration versus time graph, acceleration का value negative हो जाएगा. This is negative acceleration. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे सिनेरियो क्या है? दिस इज द फर्स्ट वन. सो इट इज वेलोसिटी इज पॉजिटिव, ओके, and velocity is negative, velocity is 0, velocity is negative. So that means one object is moving in positive direction, which is velocity is positive. Object is moving in negative direction, then V is negative. Okay. Here acceleration is positive, V is also positive. So that means it will, the velocity value will go on increasing. It will go on increasing. Here velocity started with negative, but acceleration is positive. That means velocity is this side, acceleration is in the positive direction. That means this velocity is facing deceleration in this direction, because velocity is in this direction, acceleration is that direction. That means in this direction, in the direction of movement, the object is facing retardation. So ये velocity का value, negative value जो है, ये magnitude कम होते 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 एक point में वो zero हो जाएगा. ठीक है, उसके बाद it will turn around. ओके, देन वेलोसिटी इस पॉइंट के बाद वेलोसिटी पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा. वेलोसिटी पॉजिटिव हो जाने के बाद वेलोसिटी एंड एक्सीलरेशन बोथ आर पॉजिटिव आफ्टर दैट पॉइंट. आफ्टर टी हियर वेलोसिटी एंड टाइम बोथ आर पॉजिटिव, वेलोसिटी एंड एक्सीलरेशन बोथ आर पॉजिटिव. सो वेलोसिटी बढ़ते जाएगा. सिमिलरली दिस वन, ओके, acceleration is negative. That means acceleration is in this direction. First velocity is positive. So velocity is positive, matlab velocity is that direction, acceleration is in this direction. So that object is facing a retardation in the direction of its movement. That means velocity का magnitude कम होते जाएगा, velocity का magnitude कम होते होते एक टाइम पे velocity zero हो जाएगा, and then it will turn around. तो turn around means velocity positive था, अभी negative direction में velocity आ जाएगा. ठीक है, तो velocity इस टाइम पे V0 से चालू हुआ पॉजिटिव, यहां पे जीरो हो गया. अभी इसके बाद velocity is negative, acceleration is also negative, so velocity negative direction में बढ़ता ही जाएगा. Okay, here velocity is zero. That means velocity start with zero value and acceleration is in negative direction, so it will continue increasing. And this velocity is negative. That means velocity is also in the negative direction, acceleration is also in the negative direction, so it will continue to increase. It will never reach zero value. Okay, now if it is not a uniform acceleration, non-uniform acceleration, acceleration itself is dependent on time. Okay, so अब तक जितना हम लोग किए, acceleration is constant, यूनिफॉर्म एक्सीलरेशन का फॉर्मूला हम लोगों को मालूम है, v इक्वल्स टू u प्लस एटी, s इक्वल्स टू ut प्लस हाफ एटी स्क्वायर. a can be positive or negative, or v square equals to u square plus 2as. Okay, but if it is non-uniform acceleration, then what will happen? Acceleration itself is dependent on time t. Okay, then v वर्सेस t कर्व्स में जैसे हम लोग s वर्सेस t ग्राफ को कैलकुलेट किया, वो थ्योरी अभी a वर्सेस t से v वर्सेस t में आ जाएगा, है ना. सो a इज फंक्शन ऑफ t. ओके, So A is y equals to mx plus c. फॉर्मेट में A is A t plus b, A and b constant. So that means dv dt is A t plus b. V will be A t square by 2 plus bt plus c. So V is a function of t where t का maximum power 2 है. So this is a parabolic equation. Once again, like V versus t graph कुछ ऐसा हो जाएगा. So इधर से वही this is x minus a whole square 4k y minus b फॉर्मेट में डालना पड़ेगा क्योंकि दिस इज v वर्सेस t. ओके, सो डाल के देखना पड़ेगा ग्राफ कैसा होगा. बट I can see from here that k will be positive. K is positive and y के power 1 है. That means it will be aligned with the positive direction of y axis. Okay, y axis में v है. ठीक है, y axis में v है. A will be positive, so it's like this. Okay, now if this one is like this, A is power of t, v is or A is dependent on function of t, v is function of t square, then S is function of t cube. Okay, so t cube का graph we have not studied, but calculation में we can use that. Okay, if A versus t curve becomes like this, once again it is function of t, but A becomes negative here. A is negative. Okay, if A is negative, A is negative, A is negative, here in this format K will become negative. So if K becomes negative, V versus T graph will look like this. उल्टा. ठीक है. So this is non-uniform acceleration is also covered. And displacement versus time graph we covered in great details in previous class, right? And in this class also, position versus time graph, there are for acceleration itself, there are 9 different situations based upon whether the initial velocity at time t0, whether that is 0 or positive or negative, or the initial position is positive direction, initial position at 0 and initial position at negative. So 3 possible position, positive, 0, negative, and 3 possible initial velocity, positive velocity, 0 velocity, negative velocity. 3 into 3, 9. Okay, that is for acceleration, and same thing for retardation. That I have explained in my previous class. Please follow that. That will be very, very important because many a time there will be question on in JEE main or JEE advanced. Okay. ठीक है. Now V versus T graph is given. Something like this. Okay. Let's take very simple example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Okay. What is the average velocity? Average velocity का definition क्या है? Average velocity का definition is total displacement divided by time interval. Total displacement between 0 to 6. You'll have to calculate the area. Okay. So area of this is first this trapezium S 0 to 2 is half 1 plus 2 into 2, 3. S 2 to 4 is 2 into 2, that is 4. S 4 to 6, half, this is 2, this is 1. 1 plus 2 into 2 is 3. Okay. So total displacement is 3 meter plus 4 meter plus 3 meter. Okay. So that means 3 plus 3 plus 4, 10 meter divided by 10, 1, 10 second, 1 meter per second is the average velocity. Okay. If it goes like this, let's make it little complex, not really complex, just some other scenario. Okay, this is 8. So 2 to 4, it is now a triangle. So half into 2 into 2 is 2 meter. 4 to 6 is half into 2 into minus 2. 2 into minus 2. So this one becomes minus 2. 3 plus 2 minus 2, and then this one becomes 2 into minus 2. S 6 to 10, 2 into minus 2 is 2 in minus 2 into 2 minus 4 meter. So total displacement 3 plus 2 minus 4 is total displacement for this case. The second case is minus 1 meter divided by 10 second. So 0.1 minus 0.1 m per second. Okay. So this is the concept of average velocity. Okay. If the acceleration graph is given, from that you will have to find out the average velocity. तो सिचुएशन लिख दो, यहाँ पे velocity versus time graph is given, find out the average velocity. This is the situation. Now acceleration versus time graph दिया है, we'll have to find out the average velocity. Okay. Next situation, acceleration versus time is given 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. And this is 2 up to this point, 2 to 4, 0, 4 to 6 is 2, negative 6 to 8, 0, 8 to 10, this is 2, let's say this is 4. Okay, so this is 8, 9, 10. Okay, so एक्सीलरेशन वर्सेस टाइम ग्राफ से वेलोसिटी वर्सेस टाइम निकलना पड़ेगा. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. ओके, सो एक्सीलरेशन वर्सेस टाइम से वेलोसिटी वर्सेस टाइम कैसे? एरिया निकलना पड़ेगा. एरिया इज velocity from 0 to t2. Once again, the area is 2 into 2 is 4, like this. 2 to 4 velocity 2 to 4 change 0. Okay, so these are all change of velocity 2 to 4. This is change of velocity 0 to 2. All of them is delta. Okay, last time s also displacement should be delta. Velocity 4 to 6. 4 to 6 is, this is 2. So minus 2 into 2 minus 4. Delta velocity 6 to 8, 0. Delta velocity 8 to 10 is 2 into 2. Okay, so this is delta velocity. Previous example में भी उसको जो s0 to 2 s2 to 4, that is actually delta, change in displacement or change in position. So let's the velocity assume that velocity start with 0 unless it is given something else. Okay, so velocity change 0 to 2 is 4. So if it is 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4. Change is 4. And acceleration is constant. So v versus t curve will be straight line. 2 to 4 velocity change is 0. So it will remain the same. 4 to 6 change is minus 4. So it goes down. 4 to 6, it goes down like this. 6 to 8, no change in velocity. Okay, and 8 to 10 changes like this. Up, again 4. Okay, okay. Uh, let's make it little more complex. थोड़ा सा इजी हो गया. 4 to 6 एक्सीलरेशन को 4 कर देते हैं, -4. ठीक है, 4 to 6 should be -4 into 2, so this means -8. ठीक है, तो 4 to 6 will be -8. Change will be -8. So 4 से -8 तक 8 का चेंज मतलब हो जाएगा -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, है ना? So at 4 velocity is +4. Then change in velocity 4 to 6 is -8. So 4 से -8 घट गया मतलब it will come to 8 here. Then 6 to 8 is 0 and 8 to 10 is +4. That means like this. So velocity versus time graph आ गया. Now total displacement will be the area of this minus the area of this, because this is negative area. ठीक है, ये नेगेटिव एरिया निकलना पड़ेगा. This one, this is 4, 5, 6, and this is positive 4, this is negative 4, so this will pass through 5. Okay, so ये total area calculate करना पड़ेगा. Total area will be this triangle half into 2 into 4, then this rectangle 2 plus 2 into 4 plus half 4 into 1 minus half 4 into 1 minus 2 into minus 4 minus 4 minus 4 into 2 minus 4 into minus half into 4 into 2. So ये all sum up करके जो value आएगा divided by time. Okay, so this is the S 0 to 10 or delta S you can say. Okay, change in position or change in displacement, S delta S 0 to 10. This is the total value, and average velocity will be delta S10 divided by the time. Okay, so ये average velocity का example using this graph. Okay, let's move on to next concept. ये जैसे I'm figuring out the problem from everything from my head. Okay, there is no point putting down or keeping in a notes different values or something. So what I am trying to give you or imbibe in you the kind of patterns, what are the different patterns possible, and how you can apply your knowledge, whatever you have already learned, to apply those. This is kind of a unification. Unification ka concept in the first class I have covered. That unification means there will be lot of different evidence for related to different kind of natural phenomena. Find out a common theory. Find out a common theory or common law which can be applied so that different natural phenomena which apparently looks like unrelated but can be explained. Okay. Similarly, find out same concept, uniform concept which can be applied to solve multiple different kind of questions. And questions, different kind of situations will be given. But if you understand those basic concepts, basic laws, okay, then you will be able to solve whatever may be the scenario. Okay, coordinate geometry, parabola ka concept is very important to understand this rectilinear motion, specifically acceleration, which is in a parabolic relationship between S and T. Okay. Okay. So S versus T curve. Once again, S versus T curve. It is position curve. This is the curve for A and this is the curve for B. Who is moving faster? Means whose velocity is, if the question is who is moving faster, is VA or VB में which value is more? Okay, velocity A versus velocity B. सो एस वर्सेस टी कर्व में स्लोप गिव्स द वेलोसिटी वैल्यू, जिसका स्लोप ज्यादा है वो मूविंग फास्टर, उसका वेलोसिटी भी ज्यादा है. सो वी ए, from the visual itself we can see that VA is greater than VB. So A is moving faster. If the example is given like this, A versus B, who is moving faster? Okay, what is the scenario? This is the position. Position means this object B is at origin time t 0, but velocity is negative. Velocity is negative throughout. That means object B is moving away from the object in the negative direction. Similarly, A is already in the negative distance from the object, but it is moving away from the object. Who is faster means whose slope value, magnitude of the slope value is more. Okay, from the visual itself you can see that VB ka magnitude, VB is more than VA. Okay, so from this graph, at which point B will be crossing A. Okay, so that means you know here from this graph A is starting ahead. A is ahead of B, but A का velocity कम है, already we know. B is starting from behind, but B is actually moving at faster velocity. So there will be a point when VB will be crossing or B will be crossing A. So that where is that point? The point is here. And after that B and A के बीच में distance बढ़ता ही जाएगा. Okay. So as time grows, A will be falling behind B. ठीक है. ग्राफ कुछ भी दे सकता है, बट कॉन्सेप्ट एक ही है. Concepts are very simple. As I mentioned, one or two basic concept को clear रखो. V versus T graph once again. Okay. This is object B and this is object A. This, let's say this is 2, this is 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. The question is, who has traveled longer distance? Okay. So if A traveled SA and B traveled SB, who has traveled longer distance? So V versus T में distance नहीं, displacement. Okay. So whose displacement is more? If it is speed versus time graph, then the question would have been who has traveled longer distance. क्योंकि velocity से distance मिलता है, distance travel. सॉरी, स्पीड से डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल मिलता है, वेलोसिटी से डिस्प्लेसमेंट. सो हुज डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज मोर? वेलोसिटी वर्सेस टाइम कर्व से डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसे मिलेगा? ए का पूरा ये एरिया को कैलकुलेट कर लो. सो दिस इज फ्रॉम 0 to 4 इज ए ट्रेपेजियम. ट्रेपेजियम का एरिया कैलकुलेट करो, उसके बाद ये रेक्टेंगल का एरिया कैलकुलेट करो, फिर ये ट्रेपेजियम का एरिया को कैलकुलेट करो. ऑल ऑफ देम आर ऑन द पॉजिटिव साइड, सो नथिंग, देयर इज नो नेगेटिव डिस्प्लेसमेंट. ओके, ऑल पॉजिटिव डिस्प्लेसमेंट. ए का निकाल लो, फिर बी का तो इजी है, 2 into 8. फिर देख लो which one is more. So this is, if this is P Q R S and this is P hash S hash. So S A, area of O P Q R S T, and for B, area of O P hash S hash T. एरिया कैलकुलेट करो, देन कंपेयर. ठीक है, ओके. नेक्स्ट V वर्सेस T ग्राफ में, और लेट्स टेक वन एग्जांपल, स्पीड वर्सेस T ग्राफ. दिस इज स्पीड वर्सेस टाइम. ग्राफ once again looks like this. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It can ask that compare the distance travel. Here is the speed versus time. So distance travel between 2 to 4 versus distance travel between say 6 to 10. Anything. Which one is more? Okay. So distance travel between 2 to 4 वर्सेस डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल बिटवीन 6 to 10. सो 2 to 4 के बीच में ये जो रेक्टेंगल है इसका एरिया निकालना पड़ेगा, एंड 6 to 10 के बीच में ये जो ट्रेपेजियम है इसका एरिया निकालना पड़ेगा. दोनों को कंपेयर करो, कंपेयर. ओके, देन यू विल गेट द आंसर. These are 1 mark question. ओके, जस्ट सिंपल कैलकुलेट करके, एरिया कैलकुलेट करके तुम्हें मिल जाएगा. Okay, reading few more graph, position graph, position versus time, position versus time. Okay, what does this graph mean? This graph means the position is positive at time 0. So x at t equals to 0 is positive. Graph ऐसे उल्टा, that means aligned towards the negative direction of positive. That means acceleration is negative. Initial velocity is in this direction. Position versus time graph में the direction of the slope gives the value of velocity. So velocity is initial velocity v at t equals to 0 is positive. Okay, so that means the object is at the positive distance away from the origin. Okay, acceleration is negative, that means towards, if this is origin, this is object, acceleration is in this direction, acceleration is negative, velocity is in direction. Okay, that means it's at x0 distance. Let's say this is x0 distance, the object starts at v0 at time 0, t equals to 0, it moves in this direction, but acceleration is in the opposite direction, so it is facing deceleration in the direction of movement. तो एक जगह पे जाके वेलोसिटी 0 हो जाएगा. वेलोसिटी कहां पे 0 होगा? जहां पे स्लोप इज पैरेलल टू टाइम एक्सिस. ओके, वेलोसिटी एक जगह पे 0 हो जाएगा. फिर वेलोसिटी, the object will turn around, so velocity will be negative. Velocity negative from this point, velocity is negative, slope is negative. Okay, so it will come towards the object, because now velocity is also negative, acceleration is also negative, so it will come towards the origin at this time. It will pass through the origin and then it will continue to move on in negative direction and it will never comes back. Okay, as the time progresses, the distance from the origin increases in negative direction. Okay, so this is the scenario. How the graph will look like, or what will be the scenario if graph is like this? Okay, once again, x at t equals to 0 or x0 equals to negative, x is negative. Initial velocity is negative, but the graph is straight like this, so it is aligned with the positive direction of position axis. So that means it is a positive acceleration. A is positive. So the scenario is the object is at the beginning or time equals to 0, object is lying at negative direction of the origin, its velocity is negative, that means away from the origin in negative direction, but acceleration is positive. So if this is origin O, here is the object, velocity is in this direction but acceleration is in this direction. So in this direction, velocity is facing deceleration. So in the direction of movement, it is facing deceleration. So there will be a point when velocity will be 0. When the velocity will be 0? Here. Okay. After that, it will turn around and it will start moving in this direction. Then velocity will become positive. Velocity is positive here. Okay. Then it passes through origin and then velocity and acceleration both are in positive direction. So it continues to move on away from the origin as time progresses. Okay. So this is how you should read the graph. This is position versus time graph, and iska 9 different situation for acceleration and 9 different situation for deceleration. which I have already explained in previous class. Okay. One small numerical. V versus T graph. Okay. It moves for T1 with T1 is not given. It moves for some time with alpha acceleration, attains velocity v, then moves with continuous velocity, zero acceleration for some time, and then at the third part it moves with beta deceleration. Okay, and the total distance travel is x. So these are the values are given: alpha, beta, v, x. We have to prove that t equals to x by v, v by 2, v by 2, 1 by alpha, 1 plus beta. Okay. So displacement, total displacement is x. x matlab the total area covered in this v versus t graph, that is the displacement or change in displacement, change in position between 0 to t, which is half of this area. For the time being, let's assume this is t1, half v t1. This is assumption. Okay, t1, t2, t3, these are not given figure, so we'll have to eliminate this t1, t2, t3 as we move on. Okay, in the final answer. So half vt1, then vt2, half vt3. Okay, इस t1 क्या है? t1 is v equals to alpha t1. देखो, starting from 0, this is alpha, this is t1, so v equals to alpha t1. Again v equals to beta t2. So t1 equals to v by alpha, t2 is v by beta. रिप्लेस कर दो, v by alpha प्लस v. t2 क्या है? t माइनस t1 प्लस t3. दिस इज t3. ठीक है, t3 प्लस हाफ v by beta, half v square by 1 by alpha, 1 by beta plus vt. Similarly here v t1 plus t3 means v by alpha, v by beta. ठीक है. So this is half v square 1 by alpha 1 by beta. This is minus v square, v बाहर आ जाएगा ये दोनों का. तो क्या हो जाएगा? दिस इज vt v square by 2 1 by alpha 1 by beta. देखो वैल्यू आ गया. दिस इज x by v कर दो, x by v कर दो. तो from here let's do it like this. This is x. ठीक है, x by v कर दो, t स्क्वायर कट जाएगा, फिर v by 2 v/2 1/α प्लस 1/बीटा को उस साइड में कर दो, ये आ जाएगा। ठीक है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज एक इंसेक्ट का। ये इंसेक्ट जंपिंग 6 मीटर, नॉट 6 मीटर, इंसेक्ट 6 मीटर कैसे जंप करेगा, जंपिंग 6 सेंटीमीटर in first second and slipping down 3 सेंटीमीटर in the second. ओके, मतलब दूसरा सेकंड, पहला सेकंड में 6 सेंटीमीटर जंप एंड देन दूसरा सेकंड में 3 सेंटीमीटर स्लिपिंग डाउन। ओके, तो वैसे उसका चलता रहे, 6 सेंटीमीटर अप 3 सेंटीमीटर डाउन, 6 सेंटीमीटर अप 3 सेंटीमीटर डाउन, 6 सेंटीमीटर अप 3 सेंटीमीटर डाउन, ऐसे करते करते उसको क्वेश्चन इज एन insect jumps or crawls up 6 centimeter in first second and slips down three centimeter in second. How much time it will take? How much time it will take to reach 25 centimeter? 1, 2 is 22 सेंटीमीटर। ठीक है। अच्छा देखो, इंसेक्ट 2 सेकंड में कितना जंप कर रहा है और कितना ऊपर जा रहा है, 6 सेंटीमीटर 3 सेंटीमीटर। एवरी 2 सेकंड में वो 3 सेंटीमीटर ऊपर जा रहा है। तो 25 सेंटीमीटर जाने के लिए नेचुरल हिसाब क्या बोल रहा है कि 3 सेंटीमीटर goes in 2 seconds, 25 centimeter will be 25 divided by 3 into 2। लेकिन ये हिसाब गलत है। इसमें क्या आएगा, 3 into 8, 8.5 into 2। okay, 8.5 into 2, 17 is not the right answer। okay, the answer is, देखो, it is moving for 6 centimeter, moving up 6 centimeter, going down 3 centimeter। जब लास्ट स्टेप में उसे 6 सेंटीमीटर और 6 सेंटीमीटर से कम डिस्टेंस मिल जाएगा, तो वो एक बार टॉप में पहुंच गया तो it will not slip down। okay, once it reach the top it will not slip down। ठीक है, तो 25 सेंटीमीटर माइनस 25 minus 6 which is 19 सेंटीमीटर, 19 सेंटीमीटर तक ये डांस करते करते जाएगा, ऊपर जाएगा नीचे, ऊपर जाएगा नीचे। लेकिन एक बार 19 सेंटीमीटर और 19 सेंटीमीटर को क्रॉस कर लिया तो दैट मीन्स नेक्स्ट जितना रिमेनिंग लेन it will jump in and reach in one step। okay, सो 19 सेंटीमीटर तक पहुंचने में उसको कितना लगेगा, वो 19 सेंटीमीटर के बाद 3 सेंटीमीटर का मल्टीपल क्या है, 21 सेंटीमीटर। राइट, सो 21 सेंटीमीटर जाने के लिए उसको 7 सेकेंड 7 ऐसे जंप मारना पड़ेगा। सो 7 into 2। ठीक है, मतलब 2 सेकंड में 3 सेंटीमीटर वो जंप करते हैं। तो 21 सेंटीमीटर जाने के लिए उसे 21 डिवाइडेड बाई 3 इंटू 2, 14 सेकेंड चाहिए होगा। 14 सेकेंड में वो 21 सेंटीमीटर तक पहुंच जाएगा। बाकी का जो remaining 4 centimeter that he will be able to cover in one single jump. Okay, so this is 14 plus 1, right? Okay, similarly for 22 centimeter, 22 centimeter जाने के लिए उसे लास्ट जंप कितना चाहिए होगा? 22 divided 22 minus 6, it is 16 सेंटीमीटर। 16 सेंटीमीटर के बाद 3 का मल्टीपल इज 18 सेंटीमीटर जाने के लिए उसे चाहिए होगा 6 इंटू 2 सेकेंड। 2 सेकेंड में 3 सेंटीमीटर, तो 12 सेकेंड में 18 सेंटीमीटर। 18 सेंटीमीटर पहुंच गया, मतलब another 4 centimeter you will be able to jump in one step. So 12 plus 1, 13 sec. ठीक है? So let's conclude today. This I have covered the motion with respect to time curve. There are few other topics still remaining, which is velocity versus displacement. Okay, or displacement, motion with respect to displacement curve, that, and then in case of relative velocity का concept 2 क्लास है मेरा, तो कवर कर लिया ऑलरेडी, वो हो गया। उसको उसका जो ग्राफ है उसको कवर करना पड़ेगा। देन motion under gravity, okay, and then associated graphs, etc. All this, there are few topics like this are still remaining for chapter 3. Okay, so let's conclude today. आज का समाचार यहीं पे खत्म, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट क्लास में।